deadly house fire raising concerns over whether landlords are responsible for providing smoke detectors for tenants. Thanks for joining us. I'm Jennifer Piñate.
And I'm Chad Mira. In our top story tonight, 2 children ages 8 and 10 remain at a Little Rock hospital with life-threatening injuries after an early morning fire last month in Fort Smith. Their mother and 2 siblings died in November. KNWA's Kelly O'Neill in Fort Smith to show us how city code passed more than a decade ago failed this family.
After a fire at this Fort Smith rental property claimed the lives of 3 people, the fire marshal tells me that since then there's also been 2 other rental properties that caught fire and did not have any smoke detectors.
We try to work together to make sure that we're getting compliance in all aspects.
It seems like a basic safety feature.
Landlords don't go into these homes and inspect them on a regular basis.
But Arkansas state law does not say who exactly is responsible for providing smoke detectors on a property. The city of Fort Smith,
They don't understand their rights as a tenant.
Is a little more stringent. An ordinance passed in 2003 requires a property owner to maintain a smoke detector. Fire Marshal Teddy Abbey says although the city has no rental standards that require inspectors to go through a home prior to renting it out, an inspection request has to come from the tenant or landlord.
We have to be invited in to be able to look at any code violations.
If it's a life safety aspect, the owner has to fix it immediately or receive a citation and even a court date.
If you don't have smoke detectors, call your landlords, request that you get smoke detectors in your home. If they do not, call neighborhood services, call the fire department, ask us to come and look, and we'll do a quick safety inspection.
This deadly fire remains under investigation, and it's too early to discern if the owners will face legal issues after failing to provide smoke detectors for their tenants, a family of 5. According to property records, the owners also have 19 other residential properties and 1 commercial property in Sebastian County.
I think it's very important that at some point that our city would adopt some kind of a requirement that people that are renting properties would have to register those properties under the city, just like a business.
In Fort Smith, Kelly O'Neill, KNWA, Northwest Arkansas News.
Another reason for an increase in house fires during the winter, Christmas trees. According to the Christmas Tree Association, there are more than 200 Christmas tree fires every year, and an electrical malfunction is usually to blame. Rogers Fire Chief Tom Jenkins encourages you to keep your Christmas tree away from any heat source and open flames. Jenkins also recommends turning off holiday lights at night. Although many people often prefer a real Christmas tree, Jenkins says they pose more dangers than an artificial one.
Artificial trees are manufactured in a way that makes them much more safe from the threat of fire. However, a lot of people love, authentic, natural trees. If they do that, those trees, again, they have to realize that those are dangerous. Those, as they dry out.
Jenkins says every household should have working smoke detectors and families should be prepared with an exit plan.
More than 500 Arkansans died by suicide last year, according to the Arkansas Department of Health. That's more than double of homicides in 2018. In a KNWA special reporter, Crystal Martinez breaks down the demographics of those most at risk and shares the stories of those impacted. Crystal.
Suicide. It's a topic we don't usually discuss in the news, but we can and need to talk about prevention, resources, and the impact it has. One study I looked at showed 45 million Americans are dealing with the aftermath of suicide. That could be a coworker, a local firefighter, or even yourself.
It'll be 11 years in February that I lost my son, Tyler. He was in 9th grade at Central Junior High in Springdale.
547. That's how many Arkansans died by suicide in 2018, making it the leading cause of violent death that year.
That first year is a fog.
Marcy Ball says Tyler was on the school's cross-country team, played for the band, and loved volunteering.
And him and his sister were best friends, so she lost her brother and best friend.
Tyler died by suicide at 14 years old. From 2007 to 2017, the rate of Americans ages 10 to 24 who took their lives rose by 56%, according to the Centers for Disease Control.
When I lost my son 11 years ago, there was no support groups. There was nothing.
Ball's daughter became involved with suicide awareness in high school, inspiring Ball to join the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention.
It's getting better, but we still got to keep talking and breaking the stigma.
Springdale Fire Captain Matt Bagley is going into his 15th year serving in the line of duty. He's also lost friends to suicide.
There were a lot of big things, and over time, you know, I started crumbling. And like I said, I didn't act out on it, but I don't think that makes it any less serious.
Bagley, a man in his early 40s, falls into the second highest rate of suicide, according to the most recent statistics provided by America's Health Rankings. And as a firefighter, the risk of completing suicide increases.
I'm actively getting help now, not because I've crossed the line, but because I got way too close to the line. It concerned me. Something is not right here.
Here's a breakdown of the study. Out of the 7 age groups, the top 3 highest rates of completing suicide are ages 25 to 34, ages 35 to 44, and ages 75 to 84. Of those, the number of men completing suicide was 3 times higher than women. Dr. Christopher D. Bernard is the chief medical officer at Ozark Guidance.
Arkansas is limited on the number of psychiatrists per person or per 100,000 people in Arkansas, and a lot of them are concentrated in areas here like in Northwest Arkansas, in Jonesboro, in Little Rock. But that leaves a big portion of our state underserved.
Dr. D. Bernard says there are different factors that could contribute to the study's findings, like mental health conditions.
The onset of major mental illness is most notable in men between the ages of 18 and 25, and it's most notable in women between the ages of 22 to 28.
And how Arkansas ranks among the top states for overprescribing opiates and psychoactive drugs.
Arkansas doctors are doing our patients and our citizens no favors in how liberal we prescribe some medications. These medications can be implicated in suicides.
While things like stressful life events, bullying, and trauma may increase the chance of a person taking their own life, there is no single cause for suicide.
It doesn't matter what walk of life you come from, the color of your skin, your age, your sexual orientation, it does not matter. Everyone is affected by it.
Whether you're as a first responder or you're working an office job, it doesn't matter what you're doing. This affects all of us.
Well, earlier this year, I lost my best friend to suicide. It took time before I felt comfortable sharing my story, but now I let people know they are not alone. If you lost someone to suicide and feel like you need to talk to someone, there is help. You can find resources by heading to our website now, and be sure to tune in tomorrow for part 2 of our series. In studio, Crystal Martinez, KNWA, Northwest Arkansas News.
Tough conversation, but a necessary one. Thank you, Crystal. The second case of pertussis, more commonly known as whooping cough, has surfaced at a Fayetteville Elementary School. Helen Wilborn with the school district confirms a second student was diagnosed with the contagious and potentially deadly disease. The first was announced just before the Thanksgiving holiday, and this is now the 3rd confirmed case of the illness in Northwest Arkansas in the past month. The Arkansas Department of Health requires students who have exemptions for the pertussis vaccine or no record of the vaccination to be excluded from school for 21 days from the date of exposure.
New at 10, Washington County hosting its inaugural county Christmas celebration tonight. It was held at the historic courthouse in Fayetteville. People were encouraged to drop off gifts for Arkansas Children's Northwest Hospital. Santa and Mrs. Claus made an appearance with milk and cookies and took selfies with people there.
So we're partnering with Arkansas Children's Hospital in Northwest Arkansas, and really just to kind of get into the spirit, bring employees and elected officials, bring the community and the county in so they can experience a little bit of Christmas, give back to the children.
Washington County Sheriff Tim Helder was in charge of Christmas carols. Looks like a lot of fun. Well, close to 1,000 children went through the foster care system in Northwest Arkansas. That was just last year.
Coming up in our Doing Good report, we'll show you how a special group of volunteers helps nearly all of them through a trying time. But first, let's get a look at our forecast with Chief Meteorologist Dan Scoff. Dan, not a bad start to the week.
No, Chad, great start to the week, and it only gets better as temperatures continue to climb. And even though we were a little bit below where we should be with the light winds, it felt amazing outside. And now we're going to be warming above that average high. We'll have it coming up in the forecast next.
You're watching KNWA News at 10 with Jennifer Pignate, Chad Mira, Chief Meteorologist Dan Scoff, and your Pig Trail Nation report with Drew Ammon. Closed captioning is sponsored by Air Control.
Tuesday morning on KNWA Today, the top local headlines you need to start your day. Plus, it's Giving Tuesday, how you can make an impact right here in our community.
And we'll give you a warming trend in the forecast and a look at your morning traffic. We'll see you Tuesday morning.
Avoiding the stigma of suicide and finding support. this week on KNWA News at 10.
You monitor every beat, track every inch, every pound. You train with everything you have just to be the best. But when it comes to a better night's sleep, are you getting your best? Recover, rebuild, and replenish with Athlete's Choice at Denver Mattress. With B-Fit technology featuring copper-infused memory foam and ice fabric, Athlete's Choice provides optimal rest and recovery for hard-working muscle groups. Get a better night's sleep and a better day's performance with Athlete's Choice, exclusively at Denver Mattress.
At Underwoods, we've been grading diamonds for decades, and over time, it hasn't gotten any easier. Each diamond has its own natural character. As a precious gemstone is evaluated in our lab, we're keenly aware that minute details often separate ordinary from spectacular.
When you walk in, the conversation is never about the pieces, it's about the quality.
Underwoods, it's where you buy the best, on Dixon Street in Fayetteville.
Flooring choices like stain-resistant carpets. It's just one of the many reasons to send your friends to Flooring America.
At Underwoods, you'll only find bright, beautiful diamonds with a sparkle and brilliance that's unmistakable.
I was surprised at how clear it was and how just shiny it was and then how dainty it was too.
Every diamond we offer must pass through the Underwood Gem Lab. Each diamond is inspected by 3 certified gemologists. It's checked, rechecked, and checked again. Underwoods, it's where you buy the best, on Dixon Street in Fayetteville.
Now, your Weather Authority forecast with Chief Meteorologist Dan Scott.
Another beautiful sunset tonight with the high clouds. Steve Sargent from Bella Vista got the sunrise, and that was actually gorgeous. And then the sunset was beautiful, too. Pamela got that. That was from earlier this evening as the high clouds rolled in. Temperatures did hit the mid-40s, as you saw on the almanac before the commercial break. Mid-40s across the board. Then you had some lower 50s, McAllister, but still upper 40s in the River Valley. But with the light winds and the sunshine, it was cool, but it wasn't brutal, and it wasn't chilly like we saw yesterday. And the winds will be light throughout the next 3 days for your biking forecast. Every Monday and Thursday, we give you the biking forecast, taking you throughout the week and into the weekend as we give that on Thursday. Well, we've got a nice one. Tuesday afternoon, hit the trails, a lot of sunshine Wednesday, except for some high clouds. Rain does return Thursday night and into Friday. Speaking of those high clouds, provided a beautiful sunset this evening. You'll notice them streaming from northwest to southeast. We look off to our west. Our next weather system will be impacting us, but it takes until Thursday night for that to move in. And there's a big weather system that's across the eastern U.S. that's still churning and spinning. You can see the snow in upstate New York as well as parts of the Appalachians. That's moving eastward. That was the same big system that moved across the northern United States and provided, let's just say quite a bit of travel headaches for the Thanksgiving holiday. Temperatures tomorrow are going to hit the mid to upper 50s, and we're going to be in the River Valley close to 60 degrees. So it is going to be a gorgeous day tomorrow. And if you saw the almanac, we should be in the lower 50s in northwest Arkansas and mid to upper 50s in the River Valley. We're actually hitting 60. So one thing I want you to notice is the south wind. South wind will be picking up a little bit tomorrow, just about 5 to 10. Not bad, but that starts a warming trend. Then the winds kind of shift a little bit as a wave of low pressure moves through. There you see the northwesterly winds picking up. Temperatures during the morning on Wednesday will start off in the lower 30s to upper 30s, and then we hit, looks like temperatures close to 60 degrees. Notice the high clouds spreading out. Those high clouds will be representative of rain coming Thursday night and into Friday. But your forecast for tonight, temperatures right around the upper 20s to lower 30s. Seasonable cold. I mean, it should be around 30 degrees this time of the year. Sunrise tomorrow at 7:10 a.m. Winds will be shifting from southwest to northwest throughout the day. High clouds, warmer than normal, though, as you saw. We'll be hitting close to the upper 50s. Sunset at 5:02. And a look at the 7-day forecast. We do have a little bit of rain working its way back into the area by Thursday night and into Friday. It's a system that will bring some widespread rain, but it's not going to be a major weather system, not going to be a huge natural disaster, not going to be a big flooding event. We'll see a few thunderstorms here and there. It'll be pretty nice. And then over the weekend, we get a quiet period. Temperatures in the lower to middle 50s, upper 50s on Sunday. Next chance of rain will be coming in towards the end of the weekend. So we got a nice weekend to look forward to. A couple days over the work week, really nice. Even Friday will be good. The rain's just really Thursday overnight into Friday morning. So that's not bad.
Not bad at all.
Yes, we're in sync here.
I know, the red and the mines, it's crazy.
Mines, yes. Both of you, no more beards. They're gone. No Shave November is over. And both of you, with Drew Ammon and Andrew Epperson, got clean shaven earlier today. Of course, you grew out your beards to raise awareness of cancer in men.
Yeah, it's weird looking in the mirror for the first time, wasn't it? We headed over to the cave in Rogers to get a nice close shave today. You get the hot towel?
Oh, yeah.
That felt good, man.
Yeah, it did.
Then they hit me with the cold towel, though. Did you get the cold towel?
Got the cold towel, too. That woke me up a little bit.
That one not as good.
Yeah.
But hey, you know, the experience was great, so thank you to the cave.
Pores after they opened them,
exactly.
Right? Yes.
If you want to know more information about the No Shave November initiative, we encourage you to go to our website. We've been posting stories on there about it, nwahomepage.com, and click on No Shave November under the Community tab. I'm a little jealous. Yeah, we got pampered finally.
Yes, you
did.
The guy's turn. What? My turn next, right?
That's right.
We'll figure something out.
All right.
Drew Ammon joining us now on the Picture on Nation set. Did you enjoy that hot towel?
It looked like I was taking a nap there. Did you see that video?
Yes.
Yeah. Very relaxed.
Yeah.
Again.
Why are you taking my word?
What's up with that? Yeah. That was awesome at the cave today, though. Props to them for hosting us there. It was a great experience. More on the Hogs search for a new head football coach. And, yep, I tell you what, Arkansas is talking about, well, several names, at least the Arkansas contingent out there of media sources, so to speak. So we'll talk more about who potentially could be arriving on the Hill as we track this following the firing of Chad Morris. Plus, Arkansas cutting down on mistakes in hoops. We'll tell you where the Hogs rank in turnovers committed. That's coming up. Picture on Nation after this.
England Dental. Quality dentistry with compassion and care. Call us today. Winter is right around the corner, and it's time to get your heating system checked. Paschal's licensed technicians will perform a 26-point tune-up and safety inspection of your system for just $88. Don't get caught in the cold. Call Paschal Air Plumbing and Electric to schedule your system tune-up today.
My feet hurt so bad in the morning, I couldn't even put my feet on the floor. So I had to start engineering my own arch support. So I got that, then I put this in there. This one, finally, before I added another one of these in, I went to Good Feet, and they gave me this. So I built all this together to engineer a solution to my pain. And if I'd have just gone to Good Feet, I'd have been better off in the first place.
Good Feet Arch Supports, engineered for pain relief, personally fitted for you.
Joe here with Sam's Furniture.
Hey, Joe, you shoot the commercial?
Yeah.
Hey, I'm Dean Kane. Sam's Furniture's 170,000 square feet gives the largest selection in Arkansas. There's over 4 million of in-stock inventory, so you can enjoy same-day delivery. And every item is tagged with Sam's everyday guaranteed lowest price, so customers get an honest, easy, and fun shopping experience.
Okay, that was my commercial, but that was really great. That was really great. You should look into acting. Arkansas's largest furniture destination. Get it at Sam's.
Journey through a classic story of small wonders and big dreams. As one of America's favorite Yuletide movies comes to life, join Ralphie, his family, and best pals live on stage. We triple dog dare you to miss the smash hit, A Christmas Story, the musical.
At Walton Arts Center, December 10th through the 15th. Tickets at waltonartscenter.org.
Wall Street banks took advantage of millions of Americans during the recession. So my wife, Kat, and I took action. We started a nonprofit community bank with a simple theory. Give people a fair deal and real economic power. Invest in the community, in businesses owned by women and people of color, in affordable housing. The difference between words and actions matters. That's a lesson politicians in Washington could use right now. I'm Tom Steyer, and I approve this message.
You've trusted Paschal to take care of your air conditioner for over 50 years, and now the same can be said for all of your plumbing needs. Drains, toilets, faucets, and water heaters. We'll take care of everything, even the kitchen sink. Paschal Air Plumbing and Electric, the ones you can trust.
Fallon kicked off the week with football and a music video with Luke Bryan.
We are the Football Party Patrol, getting your party out of control.
Be there tonight for John Mulaney, Carly Kloss, and a performance from Solange. New Tonight Show on NBC.
Now, from Fayetteville, high on the hill, this is your Pig Trail Nation Report. Sponsored by Crane Automotive Team.
Well, the Hogs need someone to revive their football program, and the search is on. It's been 22 days since the Hogs fired Chad Morris. Mike Irwin answering your questions in this week's Ask Mike segment.
Our first question this week comes from CalHog32, who wants to know, what about Mark Richt for coach? I know he had recent health issues, but if he could come in and stabilize the program for a couple of years, while grooming a replacement, I think that would be huge for us. Does he have any ties to Sam Pittman? You know, if they hire anybody like that, I think it would probably be Butch Davis. He's a mature coach. He's got ties to Pittman. But I've heard nothing about Richt as a possible coaching candidate. J.B. Carroll asked, have you perceived maturation in Coach Kiffin from his time with the Raiders, USC, at Alabama, if it turns out to be Lane Kiffin? I think you can assume that Hunter Yurachek has checked into that situation, and he has decided that Lane Kiffin has matured. That's called vetting, and I would assume he's done that. I call that play brother. Says, regardless of who our next head coach is, it's possible our overall wins next year could be similar to current wins, discounting that number. What are other tangible things we could look at to determine if we're moving in the right direction? You should be able to win these non-conference games. They've always done that in the past. And then if they hire the right guy, I expect him to very quickly break this SEC losing streak. I mean, that John L. Smith team won an SEC game that year. And if they get the right coach, they can rectify that. Well, that's it for this week. I'll be back next Monday for another edition of Ask Mike.
Yeah, one of our favorites, Mike. Appreciate you. Broyles Award finalists. We'll find out which one of these guys wins the award as the nation's top assistant coach when the ceremony takes place December 10th in the capital city. The award given out every year since 1996. Arkansas Hoops, 94th in the nation in fewest turnovers committed. That mark is the best in the SEC at 12.6. Eric Musselman, known for getting teams to improve their assist-to-turnover ratio and to lower their number of turnovers. His Nevada teams ranked inside the top 26 nationally the past 3 years in those categories. Arkansas is doing a better job limiting turnovers since its season opener, and Jimmy Witt only commits 1 turnover every 30 minutes.
I think our team has really gained a lot of ground in taking care of the ball, and it's been a theme that we've talked about since day one, you know, of us being together is how you've got to value the basketball, how in late game situations getting a shot on goal is so important. And I think that they continue to grow and evolve, and obviously Jimmy's a big part of us having a lower number of turnovers.
Great having that guy back from SMU. And when you're looking at the Hogs, we'll take on the Govs at 7 tomorrow. You can see it on SEC Network Plus. The Razorbacks are 7-0 for the first time since 1997-98. Hogville.net. Get there for more Razorback news anytime. More news after this.
Bud Anderson Home Services, your one-stop shop for home comfort.
New Michelin Endurance XT silicone wiper blades are engineered for extreme weather performance. With advanced QuadTech 4-layer coated silicone that lasts 2 times longer than other blades and endures everything you put them through. Only at Walmart.
From all of us here at Northwest Arkansas Urology, we would like to wish you the very best this holiday season.
Stay connected to family this holiday season.
It's a wonderful life.
Get panoramic Wi-Fi, home life, and Contour TV. Call or visit Cox.com today.
The Arkansas Minority Health Commission is committed to making Arkansas healthier, one free screening at a time. Our new state-of-the-art mobile health unit is traveling to communities across the state to improve your health. All screenings are free and provided by a registered nurse. Educational materials and referrals are also available.
Our mobile health unit is meeting people where they are because your health is our priority.
Find out where we'll be next or request a visit to your town.
Start your Black Friday shopping with some of the biggest savings of all at the Hyundai Black Friday sales event. Save on every vehicle like the Palisade, the Kona, Santa Fe, Tucson, Sonata, and Elantra, each backed by America's best warranty. Start your savings by starting a new Hyundai today at the Hyundai Black Friday sales event going on now. Get 0% APR for 72 months plus $1,000 bonus cash and no payments for 90 days on a 2020 Elantra. Visit buyhyundai.com today.
Hey, Rebel, ready to swivel and save 15% on Row?
If you love swivel chairs, hurry to Lighting Emporium. You will save 15% on your favorite Row swivel chair. Buy in stock or special order a swivel chair your way. Hurry in. The really good swivels go fast. Right, Rebel?
Bark for Mama. Rebel, please bark, Rebel. Come on.
Ready to build your dream home? Let United Built Homes create a custom home on your land. No messy bank financing, down payments, or construction loan interest. Stop by our design centers in Fayetteville or Fort Smith, or visit our website, United Built Homes. We build for life.
To sell your home on time for the most money, you need a sharp agent with a marketing strategy that creates the most demand.
In Northwest Arkansas, I would hire Tara Limbird and the Limbird team.
Partner with the team I trust. Go online or call and get your home sold.
A growing number of children are ending up in foster care in Northwest Arkansas. And it's usually up to a court to make decisions on what's best for those children. In this week's Doing Good report, we look at how CASA of Northwest Arkansas is helping speak up for the kids' best interests. Ramon Portilla and his wife spent months trying to become foster parents. Then they got a call in March 2009.
It was a call from the DHS letting us know that there was this 13-month young boy that needed a placement.
At first, Connor was just supposed to stay for maybe a couple of weeks.
I will never forget that first night. My daughter, my wife, and I just literally put a little thing next to our bedroom, and we just make sure that he got a good sleep, and that's how the journey started.
A journey made easier by CASA, a court-appointed special advocate. These advocates help abused and neglected children in the court system.
Our volunteers meet with the children, the foster family, the biological family, teachers, therapists, medical professionals.
All to make sure the child's needs are met.
Last year we served 970 children.
CASA Executive Director Crystal Vickmark said that still didn't cover all of the children in the foster care system.
We know that this year we have to train 130 volunteers in order to meet the need of the children in the system this year.
She says anyone can make a good advocate if they have a passion for helping children.
One day, someone knocked the door and introduced themselves as our CASA advocate.
It made a huge difference for the Portilla family, as Connor's family's case played out in court.
She was side by side with us, again preparing us and making sure that we were up to date about what was going to happen through this journey.
A year and a half after the journey began, the Portilla family was made whole when Connor's adoption was finalized. If you want to get involved, look for this story on our website, nwahomepage.com. Well, nice to see the sunshine out there the last couple days. Is it going to stick around? Meteorologist Dan Scoff back after the break.
Steak and Shake is proud to sponsor KNWA Northwest Arkansas News.
The best thing about my job today is I get to go meet all these great customers, and they talk about what they do and what their business is. What I try to do is try to figure out a way to help them make their banking easy for them. We talk through whatever their needs are. I listen. I learn about what their business is. I try to figure out ways that we can help support them and make their banking easier. Legacy National Bank is my bank, and this is my legacy.
Attention, Arkansas. Tucker's Furniture and Appliance announces a sale so big we can only do it once a year. Today at Tucker's, shop Black Friday Doorbusters. Frigidaire 25.5 cubic foot side-by-side refrigerator, $8.95. Washer dryer pairs, $3.95 each. GE Black 30-inch freestanding electric range, $4.55. GE Black dishwasher with front controls, $2.95. Heart-pounding Black Friday savings on now. Tucker's Furniture and Appliance.
We really feel like we got a lot of value out of this home. We just felt like this is a builder that cared about the little things that make a big difference. We were just looking for a quality, well-built home, and we felt we got that and more.
Lewis Automotive Group in Northwest Arkansas for over 70 years. Visit our website to view current inventory and specials.
It takes nearly 5 seconds to read the average text message. On foot, you could walk 20 feet or more before you finish reading.
What did you miss? Behind the wheel, you may go an entire city block in 5 seconds. On the interstate, you could travel over 100 yards.
In Arkansas, reading or replying to a text while driving is illegal.
So if you were injured by a driver who was distracted, call Taylor King Law at 1-800-CAR-WRECK.
We'll be on your side, by your side.
Visit Acura Fayetteville for attractive offers on the RDX.
And now for the fun stuff. The Acura Season of Performance event. Hurry in.
Flooring choices like stain-resistant carpets. It's just one of the many reasons to send your friends to Flooring America.
Welcome back. Here we are, just all gossiping and wondering who the next football coach is going to be. All commercial break.
Chad's tracking planes again.
I know.
The rumors are flying.
Jennifer's like, stop that. What are you doing?
I see what you did.
He's
there.
on it.
That was
right?
good. I like
I
that.
tried.
Flight took off. I had to know where it's going.
You know what? It went over Drew's head, though.
It did. He's still calculating Chad Morris's record.
I got the beard shaved. I'm good.
Good night. Nice weather tomorrow. Enjoy it. It'll be beautiful.
Good night, everyone.